Let's be real for a moment. Your 20s are not for having fun. They're not for drifting. They're not for figuring it out someday. They are the most dangerous years of your life. Because this is the decade where habits get locked in, where direction gets decided, and where most people quietly sabotage their future without even realizing it. And if this video makes you uncomfortable, that's a good thing. Discomfort is usually the first sign that truth just walked into the room. As you watch, pay attention to the one idea that hits a nerve. Drop that thought in the comments. It's the fastest way to prove to yourself that you're actually listening, not just watching. Part 1, the biggest lie about your 20s. Here's the lie most Americans grow up believing. Your 20s don't matter that much. People say, you're still young. You've got time. Relax, enjoy life. But nobody tells you the other side. Every year you delay discipline. You pay interest on it later with stress, regret, and missed opportunity. Your 20s aren't about perfection. They're about trajectory. Most people ruin that trajectory in 3 silent ways. Part 2, wasting time feels productive. Scrolling doesn't feel like wasting time. Binge watching doesn't feel dangerous. Hanging out doesn't feel harmful. That's the trap. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just doing nothing meaningful consistently. Days pass. Weeks disappear. Years vanish. And one day you wake up at 35, wondering how time moved faster than you did. If you've ever caught yourself saying, where did the time go? Tap the like button. Not for the algorithm, but as a quiet signal to yourself that you're done pretending time is unlimited. Part 3. Comfort is the real enemy. Comfort is marketed as success. Air-conditioned rooms. Food delivered in minutes. Entertainment on demand. But comfort doesn't build character. It dulls it. Every time you choose comfort over effort, your brain learns a dangerous lesson. Avoid challenge, seek ease, and that mindset quietly follows you into your career, your finances, your relationships, your health. Your 20s are meant to be uncomfortable. Not chaotic, but constructively uncomfortable. That's how growth happens. Part 4. The I'll start later illusion. Later is the most expensive word in your vocabulary. Later turns into next year, then someday, then never. People don't fail because they choose to fail. They fail because they keep delaying action until motivation magically shows up. Here's the truth no one tells you. Motivation follows movement, not the other way around. If this is clicking for you, comment one word, now. That single word is a decision most people never make. Part 5. Comparison is stealing your drive. Social media doesn't just waste time. It distorts reality. You see highlights. You compare them to your behind the scenes. And slowly you start feeling behind, even when you're not. But comparison does something worse. It makes you passive. You start consuming other people's lives instead of building your own. Your 20s are not for watching other people win. They're for laying foundations quietly while nobody's paying attention. Part 6. No skill, no leverage. Here's a brutal truth. Hard work without skill keeps you stuck. Many people in their 20s stay busy, but not valuable. They work jobs that don't teach transferable skills. They avoid learning because learning feels slow. They mistake movement for progress. Your 20s are the decade to build communication skills, money skills, discipline, focus, emotional control. If you don't build leverage now, life will demand it later, with penalties. Part 7. Money avoidance is costly. Avoiding money doesn't make you pure. It makes you vulnerable. Many Americans leave their 20s with no savings, no investing knowledge, no financial confidence. Not because they couldn't learn, but because they never made it a priority. Money isn't about greed. It's about options. If you want content that actually teaches control, not hype, subscribe. Not because you like the channel, but because future you deserves better tools than past you had. Part 8. Your environment is shaping you. Look around. Who do you spend time with? What do you listen to daily? What conversations dominate your life? Your environment is training you, whether you notice it or not. If everyone around you avoids responsibility, guess what starts feeling normal? Your 20s are the decade to curate your environment ruthlessly. Not out of arrogance, out of survival. Part 9. Discipline is misunderstood. Discipline isn't punishment. It's self-respect. It's doing what future you will thank you for, even when present you doesn't feel like it. You don't need extreme routines. You need consistency. Small daily standards beat intense bursts of motivation every time. Part 10. Identity is the real game. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your identity. If you see yourself as bad with money, not disciplined, just average, your actions will match that story. Your 20s are the decade to rewrite that identity through action, not affirmations. Part 11. Why this decade matters more than you think. Habits formed now become defaults later. Your health, your work ethic, your financial decisions, your emotional patterns. They compound. Not overnight, over decades. That's why your 20s aren't practice life. They are the foundation. Part 12. The quiet advantage. Here's the upside nobody talks about. Most people waste this decade, which means if you don't, you gain a massive silent advantage. No spotlight, no applause, just momentum. If one idea from this video changed how you see your 20s, leave it in the comments. Someone scrolling might read it at the exact moment they need it. The decision. No one is coming to save you. And that's actually good news, because it means the power is already yours. Your 20s aren't about having everything figured out. They're about choosing direction and moving with intention. This isn't motivation. It's a mirror. What you do next decides everything.